Welcome back to the program. This is Good Morning Kenya. Thank you for choosing us to start off your morning. Now, we know that the Ethiopian Prime Minister is in the country on a state visit, and we should be expecting a link from State House any minute from 9 a.m. But before that, I have engineers in studio with me today. I'm privileged to host two engineers in studio today as we gear up to the celebrations that is World Engineers Day, that is supposed to be celebrated, or rather it is normally celebrated every 4th of March each year since the year 2020. And joining me in studio to talk about that particular day and what is expected on that day, I have engineer Dr. Johnson Matu, and he is the Director Engineers Board of Kenya. And we also have Engineer Grace Kagondu. She is the first Vice President, the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very
much. We
are
pleased to have you here. If we may just begin by you telling us a bit about the Engineers Board of Kenya, and also Engineer Grace about the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. Let's begin with the lady.
Thank you very much. I'm very delighted to be here on the studio at KBC, Good Morning Kenya. So thank you very much for having us. And I also want to appreciate Engineers Board of Kenya, represented here by Engineer Johnson Matu, for organizing this particular opportunity at KBC. Thank you very much. Now about IEK, the IEK is a members association, and we were established in 1972. So we have grown in numbers. Basically, we have got engineering students as part of our membership. We have various practitioners. We have got technicians, engineering technologists, and all kinds of engineering practitioners within our membership. And right now, our membership is about over 11,000 members, comprising of agriculture engineers. Let me start with agriculture engineers because that is where our food comes from. Yes. So we have got automotive and aeronautical engineers as part of our membership. We have medical engineers, a very new line of engineering that is coming up in the country. We already have them on board in our membership. We have the traditional civil engineers, all the various disciplines of civil engineering. In our membership, we have got electrical engineers, we have got mechanical engineers, and we also have got a lot of engineers from academia within our membership. So our membership really is very inclusive in terms of the membership that we have. We have got technicians, we have technologists in the engineering space. And our vision is engineering a sustainable world, because we recognize that engineers have a very important role to play in society. So we come together to form that welfare association, so that as we are serving the society, we are also taking care of our needs as engineers, our unique needs, our unique challenges. We are also able to network and gather around and find a solution, sustainable solutions for the members. And I can tell you that we are also interested in very many local issues. We are also affiliated with global issues. I'll talk about the climate change issues. Those are issues we discuss on a day-to-day basis, the way the world is moving on. So we are affiliated to the global body of the World Federation of Engineering Organizations. So I'll be talking about later on about the celebrations that are coming up. We are working in partnership with those global associations. We are also affiliated with the Federation of African Engineering Organizations. So you can see we are affiliated both globally and also locally. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Dr. Matu.
Maybe yes, just one more thing I can proudly announce also that IEK now we are spread all over the country. We have got branches across Kenya, 8 branches across Kenya. We have got a branch in Coast, a capital branch within Nairobi. We have got a Western branch. We have got Northeastern branch, and we have got did I mention Western branch? Yes, and we have got in total 8 branches spread all over the country. So our engineers are everywhere, and they are our members.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
That.
Yeah.
Dr. Matu.
Thank you, Vivian. We do appreciate this interview today, and the collaboration that we have had with KBC. They have given us a good platform for visibility, because I believe out there not many people understand the role of engineers.
Yeah.
And therefore this is a very good opportunity, and we hope that it can continue. Yeah. The mandate of Engineers Board of Kenya basically is to register all engineers in Kenya, right from those coming from the university up to those who have been registered and within the various disciplines. We also register firms, consult engineering firms, and we also look at the programs which are being taught at the universities, so we ensure that the programs are adequate and are approvable, globally. And therefore, ours is to ensure that we ensure that the education that is happening at the university, even at the other TVETs, are being done in a way that it will produce a quality engineer.
Okay.
We also ensure that we regulate the engineering work that is being done out there. That means we can enter into any construction which is going on. We can enter in any factory that is producing items and inspect the works that they are doing to ensure that it's being done by registered and recognized engineers by the board.
All right.
So basically, these are some of the issues that we handle.
You handle
Yes.
at the Engineers Board of Kenya.
Yes.
All right. Now that aside, what do engineers do? You know, this seems like a very obvious question, but it's really a good one for the conversation that we are having today. So what do engineers do?
Actually, it's pretty much everything. Even starting from where we are now. That the cameras that you have there's a huge input by engineers to make sure that this program can be watched out there by the people. The lighting that you have here,
Yeah.
When you are coming from home, even where you live, the shelter itself, engineers are involved in the construction of that particular shelter. When you come out of your house and you are driving, the car that you come in, whether it's a matatu, a bus, or your own car, engineers are there in the assembly line and ensuring that it is safe for you to be on it. The road that you go into, that road is designed, is constructed with a big input of engineers.
Yeah.
Okay? Then where you are going, maybe it's an office, maybe it's a factory, all that is actually prepared and there's a huge input by the engineers.
Okay.
And therefore, they are pretty much everywhere. And basically, the engineer is supposed to be, or has always been, the one who looks for solutions to any challenges that mankind is facing. Whether it's a climate issue, okay? Whether you need any shelter, whatever you need, whether it is water, sanitation, whether you need energy in your homes, all these things are being done by engineers.
All right.
Yeah, that's where they come in a very strong way.
Yeah.
That means you interact with an engineer every day.
On a day-to-day
On a
basis.
day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Only that perhaps you may not recognize it. Yes.
Now, how has engineering changed over the years, and maybe what new formats have been introduced or technologies that you are using now that previously weren't there?
That's a brilliant question. For sure, engineering has been changing and evolving at a very exponential rate in tandem with technology. Let me start with the cameras that you have here, for instance.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, it was not, they were in black and white. You do remember that the TVs were black and white not long ago. KBC, Voice of Kenya. And everything was black and white. Today, we are able to enjoy color TV. That is the input of engineering, and that is borrowing from the technology that has been advancing over the years. Once upon a time, movement was by horse carriageways. Today, we are moving with vehicles through the work of engineers. We have got aircrafts that are moving at, that can move you from one point to another at a very supersonic speed. That is the work of aeronautical engineers. So I can say that for sure, engineering has been evolving with technology. Engineers are very, very fast to adopt technology, to embrace and to enhance the solutions that they're providing to society. And that is why engineering and technology are actually partners, so to speak, in development. And I want to emphasize now in the practice of engineering, for example. I was very fortunate many years ago that when I started out in college, we left college and the drawings we used to do manual drawings on a big A4 paper. A1 is a big sheet of paper. But we used to draw with a black pen. And those in college will tell you they still do it because they have to learn the basics. Today, when I was in that firm, we were taught that we moved from drawing manually to drawing on computer using software such as AutoCAD. Yeah, so I was very fortunate to be among the pioneers of AutoCAD. And today we have moved ahead. We are talking about other software packages that are on board. I can talk about 3D, Civil 3D, Revit, and many other software packages that engineers have adopted to help in the analysis of the work that they do, and even for the drawings, so that they're able to produce drawings faster, productivity is enhanced, quality is enhanced, and generally they're able to be more detailed in the way that they do their work. And that also goes to even supervision and construction. They're able to collaborate on platforms driven by technology. So engineering has really, really evolved to a very large extent. And we are proud as IEK to be participants in driving members to be on top of these technologies so that they can continue to be relevant in the world going forward. Now we even have AI, artificial intelligence coming on board. And engineers, I can tell you, are very quick to adopt those technologies so that we can increase our productivity, knowing very well that even despite that AI coming on board, our basic skills and training as engineers will always be required, because we have to develop whatever we have designed still has to be implemented. We have to provide the oversight to make sure it is implemented the way it has been designed. It has to be safe for use by the society, and at the end of the day, it has to continuously improve. So in a nutshell, engineering is continually evolving, and the engineer, because our minds are very adaptable to change, we are also evolving to suit the needs of technology and the needs of society in that regard. Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right, maybe before I go to my next question, most of the times we view engineering as an area that is very much male-dominated.
Okay.
You know, has it been difficult for you as a woman to maneuver in the field?
Okay. Thank you very much. I am delighted for that opportunity to explain. For sure, when I started my engineering journey many years ago, we were about 5% of the population of engineers at that time. Okay, things have changed dramatically. Today we are talking about almost around 15%, so a growth of about 10% in the last couple of decade or so, 2 decades or so. So I think that I can tell you that the challenge has been difficult. I mean, initially it was very difficult because first of all, you're a minority, and even the male engineers, the partners, are not exactly sure how to handle you. At that particular point in time, because you enter the field and you're very young and you're so eager to learn and you're so enthusiastic, and you know they are not used to the ladies in the environment. But I can say that I think I've been very fortunate to have mentors, along the way. My first employer was I started my career in the private sector. I worked in consulting engineering firms. And I can tell you, my seniors who were there at the time really mentored me in terms of showing me the ropes, the basics of engineering, and even taking me to sites and telling me that, you know, for site, you need to change the way that you dress, for example. It may not work for you to go with a dress, for example, like you. You need to have trousers, you need to have a helmet, you need to have safety gear, you need to have, you know, proper shoes, safety shoes, and you know, you adjust to it accordingly. So the mentorship is very important, and I must say that other than that unexpectedness on a site, for example, when you're in a site meeting, the first assumption is that you're part of the service team, you know. You're here to provide some service, maybe to take care of the catering, the food. And then when they realize that you're an engineer, then, of course, they take it in their stride and they embrace you in the profession. So it is usually the first perception, but after that perception is overcome, then you are embraced and you're able to proceed. So things have really moved up, and you can see right now I'm serving as the Vice President of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya.
Yeah.
I am a lady. In the Council of FIEK, we have got five ladies out of 12. I think
things are looking up.
Things are looking up, and the gentlemen, we are working very well together, and it's been a wonderful journey all the way.
Engineer Matu, are we encouraging more women to join this field?
In fact, we are doing, we do a lot of encouragement for them, because we believe that they are as much as capable as any other person, any other man. For me, during my time in the university, there was not a single engineer in our class.
A lady engineer?
No lady engineer at all.
Yeah.
And therefore, it was not good during those days. But I'm happy the way that lead engineers have come up, and they have come up in a big way.
Yeah.
Where I work as a chairman of my company, I ensure that we have at least about 30% of our engineers are lady women.
All right.
Are ladies, lead engineers, and therefore it is something that needs to be encouraged. And we have seen they are very serious in their work, and they are quite reliable.
They get the job done.
They get the job done.
All right. Yeah. Now, Engineer Matu, okay, to you.
Yeah.
How are engineers, or maybe how can engineers contribute to sustainable development?
Yeah, engineers usually contribute to sustainable development in many ways, in that the designs that they do make do answer certain solutions that are needed by mankind. And when they are designing, they must ensure that the project they are designing has a welfare in mind for the mankind. They must make sure that safety aspects of it is assured. They must make sure that environmentally that project does not have adverse impacts, and socially it must be acceptable to the people that you are designing for, and it must also be economically possible to do it. In terms of cost, it must be economically viable, and to ensure that at least the government can afford it, and the users do not have to use a lot of money to use that particular service. So it is quite good that the engineer must ensure that whatever project they are doing is sustainable, to ensure that we have sustainable development in the country.
All right.
Yeah.
To you, Engineer Grace, the 4th is when you'll be celebrating the big day. That is World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development. Maybe what was the need for this particular day to be set aside for this, knowing that it was set aside just the other day in the year 2020? So what was the need for that?
Right. I want to believe, because it was proclaimed by UNESCO. UNESCO is very concerned about matters of the environment and the social and cultural development. So they did recognize that the role that engineers play needs to be celebrated. And so the World Engineering Day was therefore proclaimed the 4th of March as the day when we shall be recognizing the contribution of engineers to society, the contribution of engineering to society. And that is why they've proclaimed the 4th of March as the World Engineering Day. And for us, as engineers in Kenya, as I mentioned, we are affiliated, of course, to the rest of the world. And we also join the rest of the world in celebrating the World Engineering Day on 4th of March, in this case on Monday next week. But the way that we are going to celebrate it is for us, we are going to have a series of events leading up to that particular World Engineering Day. As Engineer Matu, my senior, has explained, engineers are in all facets of society, but the challenge is they work quietly behind the scenes. You don't even appreciate it. It's very subtle. The cameraman here, you cannot see him.
Yeah.
But developing that camera took eons of thinking and analysis. Oh, we are enjoying lighting here, very brilliant lights all over the room. I can see the cameras, the dazzling. Even the setup, I'm sure, even the angles, I can see the angles are very precise. That is the work of an engineer. We came here, this building is very safe. We can do our business here knowing that the building is safe because of the work of an engineer. But you cannot see the engineer. He did the work, it is standing, and he's moved on to other developments. We came on roads which are designed by engineers. We rode in cars which we trusted will deliver us from point A to point B. There's no engineer, it's the vehicle that we're using.
Yeah.
So you see, in the process, you can easily forget the mind that did all this work. And that is why we have to set aside a day that we celebrate what engineers do. And let me also mention the aeronautical engineer, because now we move from one distance to another, very many kilometers. There's no engineer there. You're enjoying your flight. You can complain about, oh, the tea is hot, the tea is not cold. But you forget that you're already enjoying an engineering marvel.
Yeah.
We have, what do you call them? The ones going to space. Yeah, the satellites and all that.
Yeah.
You know, they're moving to space. That's engineering marvel, you know. We have submarines. We have got, okay, now back to the basics. We go back to the kitchen. That simple machine that you use for blending your juice in the morning, okay? That micro oven that you use to warm up your meal, that's all engineering. But there's no engineer. You can easily forget the brains behind it. And that is why we need to have a day that we celebrate engineers and the contribution of engineers to society, making the quality of our lives much better, improving the quality of our lives. We no longer have to shower with cold water. You can enjoy a warm bath. And not only that, you can even have a jacuzzi with the pressure from engineering input. So the quality of life has been so much improved by engineers, and it is well worth it that the world celebrates with us our achievements and our contribution. Yeah.
Yes,
all right, maybe how will Kenya
add.
be marking it?
Okay.
As you also add on to that, you can also let us know how, as Kenyan engineers, how you will be marking that day on the 4th.
Yeah, I think one way of doing it is coming together, all of us as engineers, from Institution of Engineers of Kenya, from the Association of Consulting Engineers of Kenya, and Engineers Board of Kenya, to come together and have a way of matching, maybe within the city or within the towns, where Engineer Kagondu has said, where we have branches, so that people can actually try to understand who the engineers are. You know, they will be asking what is happening, but at least we'll show that we are the engineers. We shall have placards, something of that nature. And also we want to use it, to make sure that the public understands how engineering and even the technology itself are central to our own lives. We want to ensure, and this is part of the whole thing now. Even you have given us a platform, so this is going to help us to ensure that we are seen. And I wanted just to add that this particular Engineers Day, it is basically to promote our career, and we want to show people how it changes the world and how it can change the world, even what Engineer Grace has said. And that particular day, we want to engage with government, and we want to engage also with the industry itself, to ensure that some policies that promote engineering are put in place, to ensure that engineering can grow, because we want to ensure that we grow our capacity and ensure that that capacity is of high quality capacity. And we can only do it through the government itself, the government machinery. So this is one way whereby we want to be seen. We want to tell the government, these are our problems, our challenges. Yes, we have done so much so far, but there are some various challenges that we are experiencing. Yes.
Where exactly will it be happening, and is every engineer from the country invited?
I think let me just add on to the issue of the World Engineering Day. We have got the 4th of March, which is the day that we celebrate World Engineering Day. But as my senior here has explained, we have a number of activities leading up to that day to mark the day. So on the 1st of March, which is on the Friday, and also on 2nd of March, which is Saturday, the Institution of Engineers of Kenya, the FIEK, working closely with our partners in the government, Engineers Board of Kenya, we are going to have an open day with engineers. And the purpose of this day is that we want to engage with the public. The same way you asked me we asked us this morning, what exactly do engineers do? So we want an opportunity to engage with the Wanjiku, the Otieno, the man on the street, explain to them how do engineers impact on their lives, so that we can have that interaction. We are not seen as an elite group of professionals out there, but we are actually available. We'll tell them how they can meet our services, how we can partner and improve society together. Because remember, when we see buildings collapsing, when we see homes being flooded, when we see society having challenges, we can at least be able to tell them that you don't have to go through these challenges. We are here to provide the solutions. And this is where, how do we identify a bona fide engineer? Because today, anybody wearing an overall or a white coat can say, well, I'm an engineer. How do you identify the engineer who will solve your problem? We have electrical, civil, mechanical, all these disciplines I talked about. Who is the engineer for your particular problem that you want to be solved? So we want to have that interaction on the 1st and 2nd of March. And we are requesting the public to look out for us at Aga Khan Walk, which is outside the former Uchumi supermarket, outside Aga Khan Walk. That is where we shall pitch our tents, and we shall be free to interact with all members of the public, to ask questions, interact with us, and we'll be able to engage very, very well. And then, in addition to that, on the World Engineering Day itself, which is on the 4th of March, we shall now have the main event, which will be a procession, as highlighted by Engineer Matu here. We shall have a procession that will culminate in Daystar University. Daystar University is where we shall also have now the main plenary activities, where we shall be graced by our guests, special guests from government representatives. We do expect that our CS or his representative, the PS, will also be there, and we shall be able to interact with government as it were. Not to forget the branches. I mentioned we have got 8 branches. All our 8 branches, I tell you, they are really gearing up with activities that will take place on the ground. We have got industrial visits that have been organized by North Rift. They're going to go all the way to Turkana, on the far end of Kenya, to do mentorship talks, to do site visits at the Takwel Gorge project. And Coast Branch will be doing a beach cleanup, for example, to mark the day. So we have our branches really gearing up to showcase to the world that engineers are here. We can work together and make the world a better place, a more sustainable world. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. On that note, we'll take a short break, but we'll be back to continue with this conversation. And also remember, while I was starting this interview, I mentioned that we are expecting a live link anytime from 9 a.m. from State House, as we have the Prime Minister, the Ethiopian Prime Minister rather, visiting. You know, he is here on a state visit. So we'll be having a live link from there any moment from now. You can see they are almost ready to kickstart the particular conversation that she'll be having over there. Right now, we take a short break. We'll be back in a bit. Thank you for staying with us. Before we took that break, Engineer Matu and Engineer Grace had just talked in depth on what to expect on the 4th of March as they get to celebrate World Engineers Day for sustainable development. But there's yet another convention that is should be coming up in May. If you can just tell me a bit about it. Yes, we shall be having the 5th Engineering Partnership Convention that is prepared by Engineers Board of Kenya. The venue will be at Dedan Kimathi University of Technology. The date will be between 7th and 10th May 2024. And the theme is Engineering at 60, because we want to celebrate what achievement we have had, and therefore shall have reflections on what has been done in the past,
And we shall also have to respond to know with what the challenges that we have, the global challenges that we have. We shall need to come up with the solutions on how to respond to them. And then also we shall do the resetting so that we can know how to handle issues in the future. That is, and it will be attended by engineers from all walks of life, all disciplines, scientists who also are part of, who help us in technology. It will also be attended by innovators. Those people have been inventing many other things that help the industry. Then we shall also have the academicians as well, and also many other stakeholders who will be interested to come, especially coming from the industry itself. And we are expecting about 2,000 delegates or more coming from both local and foreign. And therefore, we shall need to cater for all that.
Yeah.
And because it will be Nyeri, what we want to just appeal to the people of Nyeri is then to ensure that there is adequate accommodation, you know, because now we have decided to move into the counties. These conventions now will be going into various counties.
Also, you're working on going
around the country.
Counties. So why Nyeri maybe this time?
Well, it was just something that we thought that because we have had some in Naivasha, that is the Rift Valley, we need to start going maybe now to Central. Then the next time...
Okay, I have to cut you short, Engineer Matu. The President is ready. If we'll just go direct to that live link happening in State House right now.